Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And we are here. We made it to Wednesday. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing?
What's up?
What's
going on there?
up? We have a special guest in the house today, but at first, we are going to bring the show in because we made it here Wednesday. It took me all day yesterday to get here today, and I'm not gonna waste today worrying about tomorrow. So, you guys have any plans this weekend? You guys have how you getting your day started? It's the middle of the week, and we are going for it.
Hump Wednesday.
Hump
I don't know why
Wednesday.
they call it that anyway.
Because it's in the middle of the week and they go like this.
Somebody nasty made that up.
Somebody nasty made that up. You're probably right. Probably a guy, huh? Probably a guy. Of course, we have our topic and we're going to drop it. You can catch us at KBOB 89.9 FM radio, KBOB 89.9.com website, KBOB 89.9 Facebook Live, iTunes Podcast, iHeartRadio. You can catch each and every one of us on our Facebook Lives or our Instagrams. And of course, mine is all about Mika because I be all about me most of the time. But today, it is about you. I'm so glad that we have these fathers in here because this topic that I'm going to drop, I know they're going to have something to say about it. And I wish I had my back up here. So I'm going to have to put my big girl pants on and have to do the dang thing today. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We'll be right back, guys.
Darkest of night with the moon shining bright. There's a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an air of great power. The dudes have envied him for so long. Oh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Hard to understand, but a hell of a man. This cat of the slum had a mind, wasn't dumb. But a weakness was shown, cause his hustle was wrong. His mind was his own, but the man lived alone. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. The game he plays for keys. Hustling times in ghetto streets, trying to get over. That's what they're trying to do, y'all. Taking all that he can take, gambling with the odds of fate, trying to get over. Trying to get over. Trying to get over. Trying to get over. Ooh, Superfly.
We are back. The current temperature is 70 degrees. The high will reach 91. The low will fall back to 86 degrees with 0% chance of rain. But so remember, drive to arrive safely because wherever you're going, we need you right back here Friday. Listen to the Meek in the Morning Show because you know we always have something freaky and fun on Fridays. And remember, take the time to spend time with somebody special, even if that somebody special is you. So let me give you some local stories real quick. Because I think you're pretty special. I think you guys are pretty special. I'm so glad that you guys are so special. Here at the Meek in the Morning Show, we think you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you for supporting. All right.
What you got?
As bougie as people think I am, really, the Dollar Tree is like really one of my favorite stores. I'm just gonna put it out
Where
there
did it come from?
because this story, man dies after being assaulted at Tulsa Dollar Tree. A warrant is issued for the suspect. There's enough stuff in Dollar Tree for everybody. Everybody, no matter how much, no matter what you go in Dollar Tree to get, you come out with $10 or more stuff. That is like
That's one of them places where
And it's
you plan to go in like I'm just
Run
gonna run in and
in.
grab this. Next thing you know, you got all kind of stuff in
Because
your
I know
arm.
I went there and I spent like $50. Well, how do you spend $50 in Dollar Tree?
Man,
Easily. Okay. An arrest warrant has been issued for a man wanted for manslaughter after Tulsa police say he punched a man over the weekend, causing him to fall and hit his head. The victim since then has died from his injuries. Investigators say 49-year-old Antoine Anderson died in the hospital from injuries. The sad part about this is that it was his cousin, 39-year-old Corey Durant, now faces charge of manslaughter while in the commission of a misdemeanor. TPD says officers found Anderson on the floor of the Dollar Tree at 46th Street, North Peoria, Sunday afternoon. Police say he had multiple contusions and was transported to Hillcrest with a brain bleed. According to police, Anderson died Tuesday morning from his injuries. Investigators say Anderson and the suspect shook hands in the store, but later they got into an argument and the suspect punched Anderson several times. They say in the surveillance videos you can see the victims and the suspect talking on camera, walking away, and then coming back together. Investigators say they came back, got in each other's faces, and when the punching started. The victim was injured and taken to the hospital, and at first it looked like he was going to be fine and put through. But unfortunately, it took a turn for the worse, and he ended up dying yesterday. The TPD, Lieutenant Brando Watkins, homicide detectives are now investing and are asking anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Again, that's sad. For one, it's Dollar Tree. And for two, because they were cousins. In a dispute, now you got a whole murder charge, which has changed your life forever. 28-year-old Rebecca McCurdy was killed by a pack of pit bulls while house sitting in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 28-year-old Rebecca McCurdy, a mother of two small children, has died after a horrific attack by a pack of pit bulls that escaped from a cage in a garage. Why do you have a pack of pit bulls in your garage?
man, I'm assuming that whoever the owner is
Crazy?
well, no, not
Oh, okay,
crazy,
okay.
but going to be charged. Like
A pack.
it's going to be charged
Because-
with
Homicide. What do you consider a pack? Three to four, 4 to 5?
shoot.
At least 5.
We've seen stories where 2 dogs
I
can
consider
tear
that.
you up. No, what I'm saying
Oh.
but a pack, yeah, I would consider a pack at least.
Yeah, 1.
4 to 5?
Yeah.
The incident occurred in West Skytook,
pack?
Tulsa. Yes.
Because when you hear a pack, I think about a pack of wolves, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of them. They run in packs.
The sheriff's office was called to the home just west of Skytook in reference to a welfare check. The caller said 28-year-old Rebecca McCurdy was supposed to be house sitting and taking care of the owner's dogs. Okay, so she knew this person, and apparently the dogs knew her. They didn't want her over there. She wasn't supposed to be there. When deputies arrived, they found McCurdy.
So she was in the house?
She was house sitting.
And they came in?
It was in the garage.
And
So she
came
probably
and
let
got-
him in, maybe. I mean, I don't know. She might not let him in. Maybe she went over there to feed them. Either way, I wouldn't have been over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. When deputies arrived, they found McCurdy's body in the garage. She went out there to feed him.
If she wasn't familiar with the dogs, she shouldn't have been messing around out there with the dogs anyway. Normally the dogs know the person that's going around, that's coming
And
around.
she probably did know the dogs. I mean, because think about it. If you don't know pit bulls,
They will turn.
They will,
then they'll turn
but
on
if
you.
you don't know pit bulls, I don't care how. My cousin asked me to come feed her cat. I don't fool with cats. That cat was gonna
My
die.
kid's grandma used to have kid's grandmother used to have 2 big Rottweilers.
Oh, I like that.
And she used to try to get me to get used to them. She's like, go on and feed them, baby. And so I would be, she'd be like, go on, they ain't gonna. I'll be eating some big Rottweilers sit.
They sense your insecurities.
I'm sure they did. I could never get used to it.
She was supposed to be house sitting and taking care of the owner's dog. When deputies arrived, they found McCurdy's body in the garage. Investigators say evidence at the scene indicated she was a victim of a dog attack. Deputies found several pit bulls caged in the garage. The homeowner said he raises the dogs for hobby and to sell. Investigators said one of the dog cages was toppled over and there were multiple signs of a dog attack. Oh, they just took their time with her. Deputies are waiting on the official cause of death from the Oklahoma State Medical Examiner's Office. Me personally, wouldn't have been a dog attack because I would have had a heart attack. The dogs were taken into custody by animal welfare and are being held pending further investigation. McCurdy's cousin says she leaves behind a husband and 2 small children. A GoFundMe has been set up for her family if you would like to donate. Why the husband wasn't over there feeding them dogs? Also, summer hasn't even begun yet. So what are we going to do? 42-year-old dies of gunshot wound in North Tulsa apartment. Homicide detectives are investing.
Is that the one in Town Square?
Yes, sir. A man died of gunshot wound inside his North Tulsa apartment late Sunday, and police are investigating his death as a homicide. Officers responded about 10 p.m. and found Joel Russell, 42, dead inside a unit at the Town Square apartment, 1614 East Young Street. Tulsa Police Homicide Lieutenant Brandon Watkins said there wasn't much information to share. It's early in the investigation, but so far it appears Russell was shot outside in his upper torso before going back into his apartment. So evidently what happened outside, and he made it back inside. Investigators are reviewing surveillance footage Monday morning. They got cameras.
I think they actually had a picture of the guy that they're looking for on the news too.
Great. Russell is Tulsa's 26th homicide victim this year. Anyone with information on the killing is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 918-596-COPS. Tipsters may remain anonymous, and cash rewards are paid for information leading to arrest of persons committing crimes. So it might be a good thing that I don't know any information, because I can always use some extra cash. A man is also arrested after leaving police on a traffic stop. A man was arrested Tuesday after leading Tulsa police on a chase after a traffic stop. Just stop the car. Police say officers saw a white 2003 Chevrolet Impala with an expired tag.
Paper tag.
You run because it says expired around 10:45. First of all, if it's 10:45 at night, that cop was looking too hard because it was dark outside. He was heading north on North Harvard Avenue and pulled the vehicle over. As the officers exited the patrol car and approached the suspect identified as Savon Jeremy, he drove off. He waited till the cop got to the door and
sat there patient.
Had pretend like he had his ID out and everything.
Had his license up like that.
Police chased Jeremy until he stopped the vehicle and got out and ran on foot. You won't catch me, fools. He was seen jumping over fences just south of East Pine Street by officers pursuing him. Jeremy was finally caught and arrested.
Run, Jeremy!
Jeremy was finally caught and arrested for eluding police, resisting having an expired license plate, no driver's license.
Come on, Jeremy.
And in the midst of him running, he was jaywalking.
But see, when
how old was he?
Wait, what? In the midst of
did it say how old he was?
He was caught jaywalking.
So jaywalkers what got him.
Yeah, he's
he did all that to go for jaywalking.
But he is young. He
That's what I'm saying. See, youngsters got to be ready. You can't be just when you don't exercise and you just run at top speed on the fly. you get weary.
Yeah.
That's why at a couple of fences, Jeremy was tired.
Yeah, Jeremy was
you know this Olympic
That's why you get the
season,
jaywalking came in.
Yeah.
Last but not least, emergency crews were called to the scene of a shooting that took place near West 27th Street North and North Cheyenne Avenue. According to police, when officers arrived on the scene, they found a man who had been shot in the leg. Police say the victim is being uncooperative for gone with your bullet, and it's currently unclear what led to the shooting, and police are searching for suspects.
And here's a little tip, guys. If you got an expired tag, don't stop on the public streets. Pull in a parking lot and park your car. Most likely, they cannot tow your vehicle if it's not on public streets.
I got one even better for you. If you have an expired tag, go to the tag office and get you one that's not expired.
I was just about to go. I was just about to go tomorrow morning. I was just about to go tomorrow.
Well, he got jaywalking. Now he walking. Now he jaywalking. But what's that? Let's go back real quick, and then we're going to let D-Real do what he do. The incident in Dollar Tree, those were cousins. So you know that it's going to affect that family on both sides. Unless they were cousins on the same side, like first cousins, which is even sadder. I couldn't think of anything possibly that would make me want to punch somebody in the face so hard. Well, yeah, I can. That I want to kill her, but not my family. Not my family. I just want to put that out there. Summer hasn't even begun yet, so can we slow down? Can we please just slow down? But D-Real. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey! And I don't care what you say, what you got going on. It's gonna be a party up in the Meek in the Morning Show and crew. We gonna start with D-Real.
Well.
Then we gonna introduce our guest and let him fill us in on what he got going on in life. And then of course, Mika's going to drop her controversial topic like I always do. I'm going to win this conversation argument like I always do. I'm going to make them sit down and be quiet because they don't be knowing stuff like I always do. Go ahead, D-Rip.
So, in case you missed it last night,
We didn't.
now I couldn't understand what I did. I like Chris Paul for the Phoenix Suns, but it was
Mhm.
something that just kept pulling me towards the Phoenix Suns, and now I done figured it out.
So every time you try to leave, something keeps pulling you back.
Well, I was like, I really like this team, but now, look, we got an ex-OKC Thunder player, Payne, the young guy, and I was liking him at OKC, and then I'm sitting there watching this dude play, and I'm like, man, he looked real familiar. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, Phoenix all the way. So in case you missed, yeah. I don't know why they got rid of him.
That explains why they got rid of him. That explains why they got rid of him.
This morning, huh, Clarence?
In case you missed
biased
it,
this morning, huh?
he said he would. He biased.
But that's why they got rid of him now.
Because he left-handed.
Right.
I don't know. They should have kept him because last night he put on a clinic. Well, I don't want to say a clinic, but yeah, he put on a show last night.
Okay.
And Phoenix pulled out the win and leading the series 2-0 over the Los Angeles Clippers. And they are battling without Kawhi Leonard, the leader of their pack. So, of course, Paul George got to step up. And we all know during the playoffs, he usually disappeared like the water boy coach. So he been short. he been standing tall. Yeah, he just faded to black. He'll just fade away.
My mama said.
So, yeah. But that's my team coming out of the West. And, of course, tonight we got the Atlanta Hawks battling the Milwaukee Bucks. And this is game one in the series. So who you got tonight? Atlanta, Milwaukee. I think I'm going to go with Atlanta. I'm going with Trae Young.
I'm going with Atlanta. Hometown heat. Hometown hero. I'm going with Atlanta.
Trae Young in the Hawks. Who y'all got tonight?
Yeah.
Milwaukee, Giannis.
I want Trae Young to win, but
you think Milwaukee? They got enough.
Milwaukee gonna have too much.
Is this coming from a coach's perspective or just personal?
Is this personal?
Coach's perspective.
I got you.
Is Trae Young.
Trae Young.
Hometown hero. Okay.
I think Milwaukee got too much firepower. They're a little stacked.
But that's
comparison.
But that's what ice trays are for, is to put out fires. Don't play.
We wanted to put it out.
That'll be a good finals to see Phoenix and Atlanta. It would almost be like the battle of the guards.
They fun to watch.
Yeah, and
we should go to Atlanta to watch it.
It'll be a shootout. Too.
We should go to Atlanta to watch it. What you think?
That would be fun.
Let's go.
Okay, paid for by Meek in the morning.
We might not be going there.
Bobby got you a petty cash drawer.
You know it. Godfather over there. It's Godfather.
Okay, real quick. Also, something else that's been trending throughout the city. Here recently at the Juneteenth.
Yes.
Couple of things.
The fight?
Yes, fight. And there was a couple of suggestions, but it was an incident that erupted where it caused a lot of confusion, where we had crowds running. And now I know that what I heard that the news reported that there were gunshots, but I didn't hear any gunshots. And there were people that were around there that confirmed that there were no gunshots.
Right.
But in fact, someone said that a gun was shown, like it was never pulled out, like whoever this person was. But just to confirm, there were no gunshots, because I hear that the news is saying that there were gunshots at the Juneteenth, and which caused
I don't think there were. I didn't hear any.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't.
I heard somebody was
breaking.
They
were fighting, and so naturally, which caused the panic. But and the suggestion was made. Someone had threw out a suggestion that why don't next year, because we don't have we didn't have police, I guess, as security or whatnot, or well, basically in a nutshell, we should come up with a team of security of our own next Juneteenth. And also, we were dealing with an issue where everyone was trying to leave the Juneteenth, and it took a couple of citizens to guide the traffic out. So whoever those two guys were, I don't know your names, but big ups to you guys. We appreciate what y'all did at the Juneteenth. Y'all got the traffic flowing. Everybody was sitting there for at least about a good hour. It was
hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
About an hour and 40 minutes. We sit there.
A little tipsy, so it seemed like probably an hour. But anyway, but shout out to those two guys. But we got up there, they were directing traffic. But that was a good idea. I thought that was a good suggestion, but also some concerns came about that suggestion as far as us being security for our own people in such events like that, even if we do have police security or paid security,
wasn't
but just to
enough.
be a lookout
Yeah, it
because we
wasn't
have
enough.
kids.
We have kids.
And so people throwing out concerns about liability. And I understand where this person was coming from, but we're not talking about nobody physically apprehending nobody but if we realize just the presence of
More
a security team,
right?
it just causes less things to happen. And if you have more of a security team placed out in different places, they can notify the police where the area is or wherever the situation is taking place at.
It's a deterrent.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, they should have had a big police presence because they had 13,000 people down there.
And
you had 13,000 people and no police
but
at an event like
they
a
had
centennial.
They had like 10.
But it was just a suggestion because this was actually one of the biggest Juneteenths I've ever seen.
It was. And doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be that big all the time. You have to remember we had a lot of stuff going on. We had the Juneteenth. We had the Bobby Eaton party out here. So there's been a lot of things that have been going on for the
Panthers,
month. The Black Panthers.
Yeah.
That's who should have came down here for Juneteenth. Was
Man.
the Black Panthers.
But I still think it's a good idea because we just want to give our younger people, we want to give our older people, we want to give the kids
a safe
environment to feel like and because believe it or not, a lot of people don't want to come because if they think something is going to happen, have the kids.
Right.
That's the last thing we want anybody to worry about when we have those type of events because the point of those events is to bring everybody together on one accord.
And I know they heard me tell them, leave the guns at home. I said
it
home
or in your car.
No, leave it at home because if it's in your car and something jump off, I don't want you to feel like you can run to your car and get it and bring it because I saw that happen too. That night. Somebody pulled up and they just got out with their gun. So if we're coming to have a good time, if you know you have an enemy and it's on site, stay at home.
But that
stay at home.
But to me, you always going to have those slight little incidents. But those little incidents shouldn't result in the whole event being affected by one incident.
But
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it does. But overall, the Juneteenth was a success. It was amazing. A lot of people, cameos showed out. Mario still did his thing.
Mario did his thing.
Speaking of Mario, it's been a trending topic on Facebook. Yes. His situation with Mario. And just to be clear, Mario did not get the keys to the city of Tulsa.
Right.
They granted him the key to Greenwood.
Yes.
So a lot of people were kind of on the fence about that. Like, why did he receive the key to Greenwood? But a lot of people were mistaken that he received the key to the city. But in fact, he received the key to Greenwood.
I would just like to know.
So a lot of people were saying like.
You think he should have got the key to Greenwood?
Me personally, no.
My opinion. I think the person who presented the key to Greenwood shouldn't have a key.
Somebody local.
Be quiet.
Yes, the chairman over Greenwood. He's the one who shouldn't have a key.
But
sorry,
and we want to get Mario.
They should have presented an award to both of the people straight across the board evenly. They should have gave.
No, they shouldn't.
I'm saying for them showing up in the city, they should have gave Cameo something. And they should have gave him something.
We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the guy who handed him the key. I don't credit Mario got a key.
Well, my thing is,
the guy who handed him the key.
I do because to me, Greenwood has a great significance right now.
It does.
We've been seeing that.
Yes.
And for me,
you don't want no bandwagon.
Well, not only that, but maybe he was even probably one because he has no ties to. He just has no ties to it. I mean, he has no ties to Greenwood. No connection to it. He came to perform, appreciate that, but you also get paid to do it. It ain't like he was doing it on a homie tip. Like, hey man, a favor for a favor come, you got paid to do it. So that's my opinion. He wouldn't have came if he wouldn't have got paid. That was the ours to come to get paid. So why they gave him the key to Greenwood?
So he didn't do us no favors, huh?
Yeah, you get paid. You know what I'm saying? So we had that discussion, and me personally, somebody that's been around doing a lot of things in the city, dealing with the youth. My vote, if anybody would get the key to the city or Greenwood, would be Fred and the Deeks, the player 1000, particularly Fred too, because He does a lot with the youth. He's been doing it for years.
Great point.
He does.
Great point.
I mean, he
Great
got
point.
one of the most
He brought us all out to
iconic, one of the most
O'Brien.
iconic songs
He brought us all
in the
out to
town.
O'Brien.
If you was out and about, whether you wasn't out and about in the 90s, Sunday
Right.
afternoon will always forever be the T-Town, Tulsa.
That's your homeboy. That's your homeboy. Get him up here on the show. That's your
You know
homeboy.
what I'm
Get him up here on
saying?
the show.
So
Get him up here on the show. I want to know what he's going to do for O'Brien next year.
He got a Father's Day song too.
yeah, and him and D-Rob had did a song for the 1921 race ride.
They
So it's
did.
been on the radio.
They did.
And
They
I
have.
like that song.
So maybe we can get him up here to talk about it. But you made a great point. There are so many local people that would have been great to be honored. I like Mario, so I don't really have an issue with Mario having the key. I have a problem with who gave him the key. His keys need to be took. KBOB 89.9
Take his keys.
Take all his keys.
His
His janitor
janitor
keys, his closet keys, his bathroom key, his Greenwood key. Take his house key, all of that. KBOB 89.9
that
FM
little
radio.
jersey.
Join Tulsa's own Dale Mr. Groove Taylor as he takes you back to the 70s and 80s into the Groove Zone on KBOB 89.9 FM.
You know, when you say your marriage vows, they're supposed to be for real. I mean, if you think back about what you really said, you know, about honor and loving and obeying until death do us part and all. But it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be lies, because though it turns out to be lies, if you don't honor what you said, you've lied to God. The words should be changed. Now as I recall, we tried 1,000,000 times, again, and that isn't all. I gave my love to you each time to make amends. Suddenly, I start to realize I can't make it. Pretty birds fly away. I have to leave you for my health's sake. What to do? Make it pay. Leaving you by fight is to pay forever. So if a fresh new love comes in, I won't say those words again. Instead I'll say I tried to love and protect you with all my heart. Long as you want me to, baby. Ooh, if I love again, I'm gonna try a new way this time. Memories of the things we did, some we're proud of, some we hid. So when two people have to part, sometimes it makes them stronger.
We are back. Good morning, KBOB, and we here at the Meek in the Morning Show have a special guest. I'm not going to introduce you because I don't think you need an introduction, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you stand for. Tell us what you're about. Tell us the new things that you are about to embark on in the future. Tell us where you're going to be and how you're going to get there. Good morning, and welcome, Mr. Clarence Glover the second himself. Make sure you put that second because you know you mess up your credit if you don't.
Thanks for having me.
The second.
I thought I was gonna miss the it's a party, but you did say it.
Oh, honey, it's a party.
Yeah,
Hey, every day.
I couldn't even get out my every day.
Well, go ahead. Tell us what you're about. What are you? Where do you? Not so much where do you come from, but where did your coaching journey start? Because you have become one of the best coaches in T-Town. I'm not just saying that because I like him. I'm like serious. Like I'm his biggest fan. You're welcome.
I started at Edison in 2005 in middle school.
Man, it went way back.
Way back. So I'm coming full circle now back to Edison and taking over the girls program.
Okay.
Today is my third day on the job.
It's your third day on the job at Edison.
Edison.
But let me,
Edison.
but real quick, throw out. It's your third day on the job at Edison as the girls' head coach. How many years have you been coaching overall? So people don't get it mixed screwed that you are a new coach.
Since 2005, and this is what 2021.
Okay, so you in there?
Got any run down your credentials? You got any chips under your belt?
Well, I got a 2005 championship under my belt at Central. Got some city.
2005, 2015.
I mean, 2015.
Okay.
Got some city championships when it was at Lewis and Clark.
All 3 years.
Probably
undefeated.
08, 09, and 2010.
Okay.
Got some freshman city championships. 2016 and 2017.
You sound like you ready for the NBA.
I'm trying to pave my way, make my lane.
Okay.
So I'm taking over this girls program. They only won one game last year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a tall task, but I'm up for the challenge.
So have you in your coaching career faced a task at this level, or what you facing right now, taking over a program where last year was a losing season?
It sucked.
I mean, winning one game obviously was a losing season.
It sucked.
So, so what are you anticipating, and what are you bringing this year to the Eagles to let's say to get them flying high?
Get them flying high.
Keep them from falling out the sky.
Get them flying high. Because right now they, how to when the parent teaching the new eagle how to fly, they fall out that nest. So
kind of awkward.
But this ain't my first rodeo. I took over the girls program at Central.
Okay.
And when I took them over, they was
Nothing.
0 wins.
Yes. Yes.
So one step
I always
ahead
had this
of
running joke that I'm like a jumpstart coach. Got to jumpstart these programs. So it's no different. I'm fit to go to Edison and turn this program around and see if we can start flying high. And if anybody out there that's listening, parents, if you got some girls that need to be playing basketball, wants to play basketball, send them over to Edison. We'll get them right. Get them going.
You heard it.
Maybe some Eagles get that program back to prominence like it once was back in the day.
Take them to the promised land.
All I know is you are correct. When you started out at Central, you took over a program that was very challenged. Okay, so I heard you mention that there was zero wins. So when you took over for the first year, because you did it for 2 years, but keep in mind you were the assistant basketball coach for the boys for how many years at Central?
I was there for 8 years.
Okay, you were there for 8 years.
On the boys' side, I did the last 2 with the girls. So I was there a total of 10 years.
A total of 10 years. Yeah. So you did 8 years with the boys assisting, and then you did the 2-year program
as
with
head
the girls.
Coach of the girls.
So when you came into, I heard you say that they had 0 wins the year before.
Correct.
Okay. So when you came in that first year, from them having 0 wins, how many games did they win the next year?
We won 5 games.
They won 5 games.
And then it's my second year, we won 10. So they hadn't won 10 games in 10 years prior to that.
So progress as promised. So you took a dying program and you basically breathed life back into it.
That's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
But you revived it, huh?
Revive it. Hopefully I can stay around a little bit longer than 2 years so we can kind of have the program ascending on up.
So you're at Edison, you're over the whole girls program. What did it consist of?
That's from 6th grade all the way to 12th grade. So basically my plan is to go into the middle school and probably be the coach of the middle school girls, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. So they'll be familiar with the varsity coach. So
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So
you get them at the gate.
Get them at the gate. So they know the drills. They know the system. So then they won't be deterred to go elsewhere once they get to 9th grade. So I'm already familiar with this coach. I like him. So I'm just gonna stay here.
So you like the fact that you get to choose your own coaching staff. You get who you want under you.
I got Coach Jimmy. Sapphire. He's my right hand man. So we did it at Edison. I mean, we did it at Central. So we're gonna try to do it again at
Does that
Edison.
mean I have to be a den mother again?
Yes, you do.
I do. What is that? What is that job going to consist of? Because I don't know.
Every time.
Well, we got a booster club.
Every time.
We got a booster club at Edison, so you might not have to do as much.
Okay.
You know a booster?
Oh yeah, we get a few of them to come through.
Okay, outside of coaching, Coach, what else do you do? What other things have you been successful at? I mean, I know a few, but I'm gonna let you tell your story your way.
Well, of course, we got the barbershop. These my guys right here. You know,
Mhm.
Faith Type Barbershop.
Okay.
Long time friend and long time barber that's been here with me. So we flip fades, You know, established around the community as a good barbershop,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been doing that
It's
since.
5 star, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it is.
It is 5
Been
star.
doing that since what 99.
Mm.
I've been bell bonding since '99. So I like to do a lot of things.
Texas.
So you sort of like
Yeah,
a jack
Texas.
of all trades and a master,
And a master of them all.
A master of them all. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear. And what's even better about this is that we have these black men in the community that are uplifting our community. I can honestly say that there have been girls on the team that when they had nothing and had nowhere to go and nobody to call, they were calling coach.
Well, it's bigger than basketball. You know, some of these girls, they home life is kind of challenging. So sometimes you got to feed them. You got to pick them up. You know, they don't have maybe one mother in the home and no fathers in the home. So as a father,
Mm-hmm.
I say when I get the job, when I got the job with Central, I said I got 2 daughters, but y'all my daughters as well. So whatever they need, I try to provide for us. You know, a ride or some food, things of that nature. So,
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people understand what comes with being a coach, whether it's high school, middle school, elementary. You are a father figure. I mean,
You have to be uplifting.
you know,
You have to
and
be
so
positive too.
and I don't think a lot of people understand. Well, can you kind of tell us the process that you have to go through as far as like when you are considered to be a coach, a high school coach? Because I mean, let's just be honest. In this day of age, the way people communicate, talk to them, and you dealing with, I say, young ladies, vice versa with men. You know, young men coming up, you can probably say certain things as far as to get them going to motivate.
I was gonna say,
You know, the
some of
boys
emotional
team,
creatures.
and
You
vice
gotta-
versa. You can't, you know, with the girls, you can, you know, with the
Yeah,
boys,
you gotta be
get your,
definitely-
you know, so.
you gotta
He
be more.
does that with the girls. He
Yeah,
does that
that
with the girls.
balance. You know,
You gotta be
it's
definitely
anything.
more
The
sensitive.
girls are ready to fight him quicker than the boys. And I know he ain't talking. He ain't my
Well,
kid.
yeah, that too.
he
I
ain't
know
talking.
y'all. Yeah, so
You definitely gotta be a little bit more careful with your words with girls.
Why? Because they'll cry.
They'll cry or they'll shut down on you. Some
Yeah.
girls shut down
Yeah,
on
we
you.
will shut down on y'all.
Boys, you can say some things that kind of motivate them.
Jumpstart them.
Yeah, they make them challenge them. But girls, when you say that,
yeah,
they'll just shut down. So you gotta be more positive,
You do.
have more tact with them, and
You do.
for them to respond. So
more patience or
definitely more
find
patience because
or-
you know girls are not as athletic as boys. So some things you expect going into jobs that
Mute
girls,
mic.
girls
mic.
can't do that boys can. For us, the dunking, you know.
Girls can dunk.
Yeah, if you're like 6'7".
Yeah.
If you like
Six-
Lisa Leslie,
Leslie, Candace Parker or something.
Parker.
We don't have none of those.
Not yet. But you're building. That's
Yeah.
your job. That's why you're there, to build the Candace Parkers and the Leslie who?
Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie, which I knew that. And there are so many. So basically you gearing these young women, I ain't gonna call them girls, these young women up in a direction. So basketball not only makes you responsible for being somewhere, doing something and on time, it holds you responsible for working as a collective group.
Something bigger than yourself.
What is that? Team
bonding,
team building. You know, I see a lot of little girls who play basketball and they are so hard. They want to sag like the guys. They want to do this.
Well,
For me, that's an issue because you are a young lady and you are beautiful and you can do anything you put your mind to. You can do it just as well. You do not have to go out there. So do they think, since you've been a coach of boys and girls, do they think the persona of looking and acting like boys make them better players?
some of them do. You know, the world has changed now where these girls try to look like men. They sagging, ain't wearing no belt.
Haircuts, cutting their hair off.
Now in today's sports, girls pretty much are attracted to girls. So basketball is no different. So some of these girls are attracted to their teammates. So
and I believe that could cause a lot
happens.
of confusion because I know if I'm dating somebody on my team and we are having a bad day, am I going to hurt them on the court? Am I not going to block
Possibly
for them on the
could.
court? Am I just going to not be into the game? So we kind of need to leave that separate. And I wish that we could, and I wish that we would,
But
because I do
that's a
think
sensitive subject for as a coach. You can't really get involved too much with that because you like who you like,
right.
and
But if it starts to affect the team,
yeah,
how would you handle that? Like if two teammates were dating and it started to affect the actual game or
you gotta have a sit down
practice,
with them
or
and see what the root of the problem is.
how would you approach that?
That's tough. Of course, you try to tell them not to date each other,
Hmm.
but you don't know what they're doing outside of basketball.
Or you could say, maybe can we not date during basketball season?
Actually, that happened when I was at Central. Two girls were
Yeah,
dating each other,
I remember.
and it kind of affected some of the practices. It didn't really affect the game too much, but practice.
I think it
And when
affected
one got mad at each other,
Yeah,
she might leave.
yeah,
Or having bad, I gotta leave. I ain't feeling well.
yeah.
But it was only because of they had got into it already during school or something.
Okay.
So now I'm walking around with my whistle out. Since I'm back in the saddle, I'm like my mentor, Night Train Lane. I got my whistle with me.
Night Train Lane.
Night Train Lane. I ain't gonna blow it though, but
No, he keep his.
he keep his whistle on.
Well, that is awesome, and we are very thankful that you, as a father figure, as a coach, longtime coach,
Got my Black Fathers Matter shirt on.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. We're going to talk about Black fathers here in just a second, too. So, with that being said, we at the Meek and the Wonder Show and crew would like to thank you for your contribution to society, contribution to the children, contribution for just being there. Anybody that, you know what, we cannot go anywhere without somebody saying, Coach Bud, Coach Bud, Coach Bud. It's really kind of annoying because when you got to get somewhere at a certain time and he's stopping every 2 seconds, you face a decision. Do I wait or do I go ahead and leave? And most of the time I have to go ahead and leave because even when he stops talking to that person, he stops and talks to 10 more people before we actually get to our destination. But at the same time, that is definitely a reflection of the influence that you have left on the young people's lives that you had touched. And so from us to you and from them, thank you for doing what you do and being who you are. Clarence Glover, the new head coach of Edison Girls, the whole program. So if you want your children's life to be influenced, to be changed, somebody that cares enough to try to make a change in their lives on and off the court, hit him up at Edison. You can find him on his Facebook. What's your name on Facebook?
Clarence Glover.
Just Clarence Glover. You can hit him up.
Simple guy.
Simple guy. I don't know about all that, but yeah.
No, I'm a simple guy, so.
KBOB 89.9 FM radio, and we'll be right back. So let me go ahead and drop the topic real quick. The topic is, since we're talking about boys and girls, the differences in how we handle them, their feelings and their emotions. So this weekend, there was a discussion on my very porch,
Your part.
on my porch, how, I'm not going to say all men, but some men. There was a discussion. There were 3 ladies. There were 2 men. We were talking about young girls having kids and how it is better if basically the dads were like, I would rather my son be out there than my daughter have a kid and bring it home because the kid comes back home with you. I don't think there's any difference between a 15-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl having a baby. I think the responsibilities are still the same. I think they're both still too young to know what's going on. But for some reason, men get a pass if they're young and have children because the baby does not come home with them. We're going to discuss it. We have some Black fathers on the panel. They all have daughters and sons, and we're going to see what they think about it. KBOB 89.9 FM radio. Me, I don't distinguish. I don't want my 15-year-old boy or my 15-year-old girl to bring a baby to my house because I'm trying to party. It's KBOB 89.9 FM radio.
This is it. Do you hear me, girls? And well, they can't do it for you no nastier than this. Give them some. This is it. And the band, well, they can't run it to you no hip
flashier than this. Funk, raw funk, funk, pure funk. This is it. Now tell me, ain't this a bad MS? Oh! Funk, funk, yeah, funk. This is it. I said, come on. You know this is a bad MS. Get down.
And we are back. We are back. We are back. It's almost the top of the hour, so let's hit this really, really quick. We spent most of our time talking about the coaching program and what it means, and I'm glad to hear that. You even heard him say how they talk to the boys and the girls differently. So we start from home. We are always preaching about equality. But the truth of the matter is that we start at home, treating little boys different than we treat little girls. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't. There are different dynamics on things that you should, but some things should be the same all across and all around the board. So GB, you have a daughter, you have two daughters, and you have a son.
Yes.
Let's just say they're 15. They're twin. Okay, you got twins. You got twin boy, twin girl. They both 15. Would you allow your son to be more free, hang out a little bit more, maybe not even have a curfew, than you would your daughter?
I'm not trying to be biased or anything, because of the dynamics. We look at boys like boys can take care of themselves, but girls, we don't look at girls like they can just go out there on their own and do the things that men do. We they say women are a little bit more mature than men, but as far as the strengths of being street savvy or having an understanding on what's going on out here, girls can be a little bit naive, and that's the way I look at it. And then, like, say for instance, you was making a comparison about a boy and a girl, and girls and boys having babies at young ages. To me, seeing that you spoke on it, I have to give thanks to my mother and father, because I was a young father. And my mom and my dad, they helped me so
either
much.
way, they had to step up anyway,
right, yes.
Even though you were
That's
a male.
Why I put that point out there, what you were saying. Even though I'm a male, even though they was training me and grooming me into being a responsible person, they helped me so much in the process. By, like, even when I became a man, a grown man, I stayed in a different state. Like, my son was always over there with my mother and my father, and they was keeping him in the summers and doing things with him, buying him things, clothes, whatever he needed, as well as them being on me, making sure that I do those things as well, so I have to give thanks to my mother and my father, for the things they did me, because it takes they say it takes a village to raise kids in general. It takes a village to raise kids.
It just takes a good old belt.
Well, yeah,
that too.
You gotta have a stern. They say spread a rod, sport a child. You gotta be stern.
Okay, coach, put me in the game. So I already kind of know what your perspective is, but tell the people out of Radio Land what you think about the differences in 15-year-old girls. And I'm saying 15 because it all starts at about 11 or 12 anyway, but I'm gonna give it a few years to say 15, 16. Tell me how you feel about 16-year-old boys and 15-year-old girls, and how the dynamics of their social lives are different. Their rules are different.
Now, first of all, if a female, she gets pregnant, she has to take care of the baby 24/7. The baby comes home with her. As a male, you can go visit, but it's not with you 24/7. So there's a difference right there for us between the girls and the boys.
Okay.
like you say, is daddy's maybe, but it's mama's baby. So
I'm about to mute your mic.
it is what it is. There's a men and there's women. They're different. They're different
We,
people.
we definitely know that. We
Different.
definitely know there are
We
different.
can't treat them equally the same because they're different. That's why we men. That's why y'all women. So therefore, as a father,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of grant the boys some different things for us. We proud when they do certain things,
Right.
but the women or our daughters, we don't want to go and do those things because that's not what we want them to grow up and be like.
So this is what I just heard you say. We're proud when our son go do these things, but we don't want our. Well, don't you know that your sons are doing those things to somebody else's daughter that may
is
not
true.
like
But
that?
That
I
is
mean,
true.
come on now.
That is true. But
So what if you found out that your daughter was doing this with this guy and his dad was over there high fiving him, telling me you gave it to a good, you would be like, why are you teaching your son that?
Well,
You would say that, like, why would you be teaching your son to be a womanizer and all this? Like I said, men laugh at all the stuff they do to women until their daughters grow up and some man does it to them. Now you want to fight. No, have that same energy that you had when you was high fiving your son, when he was
That's just the
knocking
way it
down the
is.
neighbor's daughter,
It may
as
not be
opposed
right,
to the
but that's
neighbor's
just the way
daughter
it
knocking
is.
down his son.
I'm gonna chime in real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We the guys that we have daughters, right?
Right.
We know our daughters are gonna grow up, and one day they're gonna be with somebody. We just want them to be with the
Of
right
course.
guy.
With the right person.
But your son
We're
too, you want them to be with the right
about
person,
that.
right?
Men are sensitive about that,
Yes.
and then hey, that's just the way. It don't mean that you don't want your daughter to be with somebody. You want your daughter to have a husband, have you some grandkids, but you want her to have somebody that's gonna respect her and that's gonna go the whole distance with her.
I actually want that on both ends because you can get your son can grow up and marry a toxic woman.
Right, that's true. So
your body's your temple.
Yeah,
your body is your temple.
So don't be giving it away to
I'm very big on
everybody.
not giving out my most prized possession for cheap.
Yeah.
I'm very big on that. D-Real, what do you think? Because you also have a son and a daughter, and your children both have kids. Were you upset or happy, or more upset or more happy when your son or your daughter had a baby? Like, was your emotions different? Like, when your daughter had a kid, did you have certain emotions, and then when your son had a kid, did you have some different emotions, or were they just the same all across the board?
No. Well, I was trying to think.
No.
I mean, because naturally, like Coach was saying, naturally that a child is going to be naturally just chemically just the way it's set up.
Skin on skin.
A woman is going to be. I mean, that child is going to be yearning for that mother.
Yes.
So she's going to have that more of that 24, especially during that first. You a mother going to have that intimate relationship. Yes. So the daughters, as far as that's going to always now, as it was said with the male, if they're not married, there's always going to be that that space as far as like if they're not living together, but still that more of attachment is going to be with that mother, rather they stay together, split up, or whatever. Now, as far as that's I don't even know what to say, but even for a male, you won't. I have taught my son, like, you don't want to go out. I didn't want him making babies either, regardless. Rather, you know what I'm saying, just going out making babies and not be, because I knew the responsibility of raising a child.
And how some of that responsibility, regardless, it doesn't matter what age you are.
And you do consider the fact that if your son gets a young lady pregnant, that you would. It would be the same way, vice versa from you, as if your daughter got pregnant, and you knowing that if he weren't there, that you would have to raise. But you can't do nothing about it. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying.
But you can't.
Of course, you have to be responsible for the child that you have. You still have to be a responsible father.
Yeah.
But the baby's going home with the mother.
He was talking about as far as the grandparent, right?
Well, no, I'm saying, like, as far as, I mean, that woman, the child is going to be with that woman with the woman more,
She
regardless.
Regardless.
She is going. The baby is going to be with that parent. But
That's
if your
what I'm saying.
child
Especially if they're not living together or
Right.
I mean,
but what I mainly was talking about was the responsibility. And I know what you guys are saying about the responsibility of the baby being with you 24 hours. But the responsibility I'm talking about is if your son is 15 and he doesn't have a job, and she calls and say this baby need diapers, and he doesn't have a job, where is he going to get that money from? You, right? So you will be financially responsible for that baby if a child is allowed to have a child. That's the responsibility part I was talking about. We know the baby's going to go home with mom. We get that part. But if I'm 15 and he's 15 and I'm calling you saying, hey, the baby needs some diapers and some milk, the first thing your son is going to do is come where? To his mom and his dad for that money. So that baby's responsibility still falls on both sides of the family. And if they're good grandparents, they're going to want to see that baby just as much and want that baby to build their house just as much. Maybe not 24 hours, but just as much as, go get my baby, go get my baby. When it's going to even get to the point where she won't even be calling that 15-year-old anymore for diapers. She's going to go right to the source. Miss such and such, the baby need blah, 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 blah. And what is that mother going to do? Okay, baby, let me see what I can do. The responsibility, it will eventually fall off that 15-year-old kid anyway, because she knows where the money is really coming from, so she's going to go to the source.
But she's 15 as well, right?
Right.
So she don't have a job.
She doesn't have a
So
job.
her responsibility is going to fall on her mom and dad too.
Exactly. She's already living there. I'm pretty sure the mom is the one. The mom and the parents are the ones who were there when she had the baby. The mom and dad were probably the ones who set the nursery up at the house for her. So they have the same responsibility, but different dynamics. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Basically, the responsibility is going to be on the parents.
That's so that's what I'm saying. So that's why my question was. There is no difference between a 15-year-old boy as far as the responsibility goes to the parents and a 15-year-old girl having a baby. This responsibility goes to her parents. That was my point.
Y'all debate was basically the freedom that the man gets.
No, that wasn't my debate.
Okay.
Mine was the responsibility.
Yeah, the responsibility part is going to basically weigh on both grandparents because both of the kids are still they're still growing.
So when you decide to let your kid have a kid, and when I say kid, I'm not talking about 20. That's really not a kid. At 20, you really kind of only have to do for the baby what you really kind of choose to do for the baby. But at 15, if you decide to let that baby have a baby, that responsibility goes to the parents, whether it's a boy or whether it's a girl.
But the girl's going to have the
bulk of
it. Yeah, because she's going to be with that baby every day.
He is too.
3, 4, 5 in the morning when that baby crying.
I'm gonna call you. I'm up. We up. You up.
Whether they nursing them,
you're gonna turn his phone off.
Whether they breastfeeding them or whatever. It just if you turn on National Geographic and you look at the animals in the nature of the wild, you see the women. They bond to the mother.
Coach, I'm real mad at you right now. Tell me you're gonna turn your phone. You're gonna turn your phone.
The mammal.
How dare you turn your? I'm gonna call your house phone.
At 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning,
they're gonna gravitate. The babies gravitate more to mama than they do.
Like God.
It's just a
man enough to take a life, but you ain't man enough to raise one.
Right. He doesn't believe in you because you don't take care of your responsibilities.
Baby boy.
No, that was lean on me.
Lean on me. Okay.
That was lean on me. Jody didn't take care of his kids either. His mama took care of his kids too. Jody, my Jody. Anyway, top of the hour. We will be right back here Friday.
So the conclusion.
Don't have a baby.
That's right.
Don't have a baby until you know what?
Wrap it up.
You know what? Let me.
Wrap it up. Put
it away.
You remember back in music, they like when TLC and them came out there, people thought they was crazy when she was wearing the condoms on her eyes. But it was keeping
they
you
were
aware.
crazy. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because
people
they don't understand having a child at that young.
Be responsible.
You know what though? You know what? It ain't even really that young. It wasn't until because I had a baby at 20, so of course we weren't married, but I did have a child, and most of the responsibility did follow me because he was away at school. That wasn't the biggest thing. The kick butt part is that everything that everybody was telling me or society about having kids when you're married. Once I had a baby and got married and saw how much the responsibility was shared with him, I said, this is why they say that, because when you are married in the same home and you have this kid, he is there. He don't really have a, for lack of a better word, a choice, but it's a choice that he's willing to make. That I understand the dynamics of needing those parents together in the house of raising those children. Because I remember one time I was knocked out and I looked over and he was up and it was the middle of the night. He was holding me. He said, I got the baby. Go ahead and go to sleep. Had he not been there, me and that baby would have had to look at him. When he would have came over the next day to see that baby, we'd have been like, I'm tired. But I understand when they say it's better for the dynamics of those children to have those parents in the home like that. So
balance.
I get it. So it is true. Everything your parents tell you, listen.
But you don't realize that.
You don't realize till you have your own kids.
You're
Now
like,
you balance.
listen.
You don't realize until you have your own kids and you balance with them on the same issues that you fought your parents on so vigorously.
You live and you learn.
So my thing now is what I tell my children. I don't argue with my children anymore. You know what I tell them? Keep living, because I've been your age twice. I know more you'll ever even forget. I tell my kids that all the time.
Twice.
One of them is 17, one of them is 24. So yeah, twice. Now not that 28-year-old, but that 24-year-old and that 17. I done been their age twice. That 17-year-old probably 3 times. So my thing is now, keep living. Just keep living. I'm not about to argue with you. Life will whoop you way worse than I ever could. So keep living.
But we do still have some strong single black women.
We have some
True
excellent.
that had
I know
babies at young
many,
age that
many have been successful and
been successful.
And they got a good support system.
And they've gone on to have successful lives, marriages, and careers.
Yeah, and just,
we all make mistakes.
Just because you have a child at a young age does not mean you can't still go to school. Don't mean you can't go get your career. Don't mean. In fact, some people said they glad they had. I'm not going to say 15 and 16, but as far as like how you said you had yours when you were 20, some people look back and say, well, I'm glad I had mine. Because when you have grandchildren at this age.
And they be running you around. Having babies is for young folks. Having babies is, because that little baby of mine.
Kids.
You know what I tell her?
They got some energy.
When it's almost time for her to leave, I be like, your owner's on her way. Your owner's. I wouldn't suggest 15, 16, but I'm not going to lie to you. Having babies is for young folks. For those of you who have them babies later in life, 40, 50, God bless you. God bless you, because having babies is a young folks thing. That is a young folks thing, because my grandkids, I'd be like, where are your mothers? Where are your fathers? I don't care who come and get you. Just come and pick them up.
London be asking me 20,000 questions. You know, kids got a ton of questions.
Yeah, because you actually still have a 7-year-old. And my oldest grandchild is 8. And when he leaves, I love to see him come. But when he get ready to go, I'll be like, bye. I'll see you tomorrow. FaceTime me. Love you. FaceTime me. Love you.
You got a lot in
the most outlandish stuff.
And I didn't know that kids, I don't know if I ever did it, but I didn't know kids could actually climb walls. They climb all over my walls.
I don't know what, my grandson climb on my coffee table, he pulls down the dishwasher, stands on pulls the bottom of the oven out, trying to stand. I don't know what's wrong with
my 1-year-old. I got some double doors on my refrigerator. I went in the kitchen and she's standing in the refrigerator like, what we got here? I'm like, how did you even reach this door to open it? Go outside one time, my grandchild standing on top of the hood of my car. I'm like, where they do that at?
These kids is like the modern day Rugrats.
Baby kids. We don't die, we multiply.
KBOB 89.9 FM radio. We are at the top of the hour. We're a little past it, but we will be right back here Friday. So if you have a topic and you want me to drop it, go ahead and let me know. If you want somebody you need me to call out, let me know, Ted. If you got a problem that you need solved, I can do that for you too. KBOB 89.9 FM radio. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And we are out of here. Love you guys. Mwah.
It's gonna be